Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It's your host, Griever, as always, bringing you guys the latest chapter review for Ayakashi Triangle, chapter 47. I apologize how late this chapter review is. I've said it on my previous reviews as well. There's going to be quite a few reviews coming out this week, just all at once, as fast as I can produce them, because I had zero time on the weekend and Monday. So, and of course, that's when nothing ever comes out on a Tuesday to make it easy, right? So, thankfully, I am getting them done right now. But actually, this one, I almost thought about skipping this one. Not that it's necessarily a bad chapter, but it's a classic Ichi chapter. It's the beach episode. That's what we're going with. We're sort of supplementing a beach episode. Rather than making it a filler thing, we included all the main characters, and they're all in swimsuits, and very compromising situations occur. And it's all for the greater good, however. It's all for the greater good. It's all to lure out the Heat King Ayakashi, the one who's created this incredible heat wave and this drought and all that stuff. Appropriate right now because we are actually, we have a heat wave warning right now where I'm living. So yeah, I understand that. But me, I love the heat. Like, I'll go out, right now, have a few beer, that kind of idea, and I'll sit on that porch and I'll bask in all that UV gloriness. So that's just me, though. But that being said, this chapter, honestly, I don't really have much to talk about. That's why I thought about skipping it, because nothing really happened. I mean, I could talk about some of the funny moments here, going through them and stuff. I like the idea that, I guess the transformation idea with the swimsuits and everything. Ninokuru is here, and actually I really like Ninokuru. I like him as a character, so having him here actually does bring up a little bit of fun. Shirogane is, of course, probably my favorite character, to be perfectly honest. So Shirogane, for once, instead of going, "Oh, how shameless," because that's his tagline, that's the funny thing, he recognizes this is ridiculous. Nobody gets caught with their pants down literally this many times a day. What is up with these kids? Like, what is up with these people? Are we in an H-rated manga here? Like, this shit does not happen, so that's his whole thing. Sort of a little fourth wall breaking, sort of a little really, going there with Shirogane, and that's why I really like him. But here, for once, he says, it is ridiculous, but it does make sense. The reason they're doing the swimsuit thing is, of course, at the end of the last chapter, they're all going after this creator of droughts, this Ayakashi that creates heat and heat waves. But now they're trying to lure him out. They can't seem to. They can focus, but they can't sense any Ayakashi energy. So, but this certain types of formless Ayakashi, not that they don't have a physical manifestation, but they don't require it. They actually become the heat itself, and they disperse themselves. So it's impossible to attack them. It's possible to fight them, and they can just cause this for days. So but they delight in the suffering they're causing. It's a malicious thing. So what Ryo decides to do, which sort of makes sense, and that's what Shirogane explains, is that's why we're doing the swimsuits. So it's sort of, as he points, this is a little ridiculous, but it makes sense. He loves seeing the suffering. They came to the center point of where the heat wave, the hottest part that they could find, and it happens, of course, by a lake. Happens to be by a lake, and now they're all going to enjoy it like it's a wonderful summer day, that they love the fact that it's such a nice hot summer day, and they're going to be enjoying with their friends, and sandwiches and beach and barbecue and whatever, hilarity in the lake, right? So, and Shirogane agrees with this, says it does make sense. Threatening an Ayakashi's reason and purpose to be existing is a matter of life and death, and this will definitely, if nothing else, really piss him off. So that's the main idea here, is to really, because there's no way they're going to be able to locate him without him being manifesting. So they're just going to force it out of him. They're going to say, what you're doing right now does nothing to us. We still love life. And that's totally against what they want to do. So Shirogane, for once, does agree with this plan. And also, we get to see Shirogane catching fish in the lake. That's so cute. That's so funny. There's a bit of a contest between him and Po there doing, catching fish in the lake and that kind of idea. So they all get into their swimsuits, and of course we have some compromising situations with Ryo and Suzu with Matsuri, and then Ninokuru is the same thing with, with Matsuri, of course, and Of course, the bathing suit just happens to come undone. Things tend to fall out. I don't know how I'm supposed to review this stuff on YouTube anymore. Like, almost every... I don't know what panel I can possibly use that's not going to get taken down for a thumbnail right now. None of these panels are going to be acceptable to YouTube standards. So I have no idea what I'm supposed to do. I really don't anymore. Either way, they do talk about the fact that, and we see the eye, the eye of Sauron at the end of the chapter, in that everyone notices, or at first, Suzu is the one who notices, with Rio, notices that the enemy is starting to get serious. The Ayakashi medium gear has air conditioning, and so does their Exodus ninja gear has air conditioning built in. Don't know how that works, but it does. But it's suddenly feeling even hotter, even though they're in the water and blah, blah, blah. And Rio mentions, like, that means that, like, he's getting pissed off, starting to get serious. He's turning up the heat literally, rather than just figuratively, turning that dial up to 11, trying to sweat them out. So apparently we will see this character next chapter, chapter 48. I have no idea. I'm hoping it's a really badass, very, very cool design, just like the Dust King was and stuff like that. That was creepy. That was aura. And we know that the one of the big things here is the character models. The character models for this art style, the character models are some of and it's the detail to the Ayakashi that is some of the most impressive part of the artwork of this manga. So I'm really hoping for something really impressive for somebody that's supposed to be like the Dust King, right? But yeah, that's all I really have to say about this. This chapter was fine. Because it is just a setup chapter. Of course, we have to rope in the very compromising elements, because that seems to be the main point of the manga. But outside of that, it was necessary to set it up. Like, there was a necessity that we're grouping all the characters together on a mission for the first time. It's not going to be over in one chapter. We need some setup, we need some explanations, and of course we need the little bit of that Ichi goodness. So, overall, the chapter was fine. There's just not really a whole lot to really talk about without going into very, very specific detail, right? So, but still, nonetheless, I thought the chapter was fine as far as a good setup chapter. At this point, it's stupid after almost 50 chapters of a manga going on. It's foolish to expect it to start breaking away from the classics and the tropes, and just focus on storytelling. I don't think we're ever going to get that anymore. That is disappointing somewhat, but I think over the last, couple of months of reading this manga, I've gotten over it. It's still lighthearted and fun, and it's got a few serious elements to it, but I don't think we're ever going to get too serious. I don't think we're ever going to have a really grandiose plot that involves everyone and we meet a whole new group of characters and stuff. I just don't really see it. It seems to be more of a villain of the week or a trio of the week, right? We finally got introduced. We were introduced to the Dust King. We're getting some backstory on Suzu and the Ayakashi medium, but that seems to be about it. It's like, oh, these are the other two that are on the level of the Dust King. There were two more sealed by the previous Ayakashi medium and blah, blah, blah. So you could count that as maybe, oh, it's sort of like an arc, and it's pretty weak as far as an arc is concerned. But yeah, because we're already fighting round 2. If the Dust King's supposed to be a boss, and we're already fighting the second boss, it's not much in the way of considered an arc as far as I'm concerned. But either way, no, I'm just looking forward to the design of this thing. I like, because it's heat, it's drought, it's fire, it's the sun. Usually you can create a lot of unique stuff with that. You can always have fun with fire and flames and stuff like that. And don't burn yourself, kids. But you can always have fun designing characters with that epithet, with that sort of, with that as a base. So, I don't know, I'm just sort of looking forward to chapter 48, assuming we get to see the design. I think we will, but, this manga does not exactly waste time building suspense of any sort or tension, but, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. What did you guys think of the chapter? Like, comment, and subscribe as always. I apologize once again for the lateness of this review, but at least I managed to get it out before the next chapter drops. So, thank you guys so much for watching. Drink responsibly as always, and we will see you guys again next time. Peace out.